All right, I think we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. I thought I would sit down and do a live for you guys and gals. Let me give you guys a forearm shot before we get started. So, I always get people who are like, Jason, you always wear those same shirts. Okay, so I'll wear some of the shirts I actually wear in public. Right? This is actually how I dress when I'm outside of the house doing a lot of stuff. So, for those curious, I'll just dress instead of dressing to look thicker on camera sitting here. I will wear the sort of clothes I normally wear. Right? We got blue jeans on. We got a shirt on. This is how I actually dress for the unaware. Also, if you guys will follow me on the Facebook fitness page, it would be greatly appreciated. All right, let's get over to the topic at hand. All volume is not equal. Okay. And I get this all the time. People are talking about how many sets should I do? Oh, I can't do this many squats. Should I be worried about axial loading? And you get people who are so scared of axial loading that they don't want to do heavy squats or deadlifts, which is ludicrous. And then you get people who actually really and truly believe, hey, how many total sets should I do? Without factoring in that volume isn't equal. Recovery isn't equal exercise to exercise. So these are the people who don't understand the concept of stimulus to fatigue, and they don't grasp that, hey, you can probably do more belt squats than you can back squats. Okay, the volume is not the same. You can probably do way more. I mean, facts. You do. Oh yeah, no second. We'll get to that in a second. You would think they could move on with their lives, but they clearly can't. I am their God. I am their reason for existing. Like, what would they do without me? Like, seriously, no. I mean, if I didn't exist, what would those people even do? It's really sad. It's really sad because I'm really just a normal guy who makes videos and likes to work out. But back over to that point, people don't understand that. On the recovery end, recovering from 5 sets of all-out squats to where you take them to momentary failure, you know how hard that is once you're strong? Like, if you can squat at least, say, 400 pounds, right? Let alone 500 or 600. You can squat 400 pounds. Doing 5 sets of squats to failure every week will bury you. How many of you can do 5 sets of belt squats on the machine to failure? Or lunges, right? No problem. Most people can recover from that. Try to recover from 5 sets of squats to failure with 315 on the bar. Totally different ballgame. So then people say, well, how many sets should I do? And they don't get that. Some of these exercises are far easier to recover from. Okay. But what people also don't get is that same token, they'll go, oh, well, if that's the case, then I should just avoid those hard exercises. No, they're great. Squats, deadlifts, overhead presses, all this. These are great exercises. They bring a lot to the table. So no, you shouldn't be afraid of fatigue. And it's the same thing, when people talk about that, they're like, oh, I'm scared of too much fatigue. Yeah, you should be scared of too much fatigue. But if you don't create any fatigue, you are going to stay small and weak. Okay? You're going to stay small and weak. Also, why are you guys not hitting the like button? There's 2 people asking questions and we don't have a single like here. I'm not even going to answer your questions till we get some likes. I'm just going to keep talking. All right. Same thing for all of you other people chiming in. And again, as I said, because people keep commenting, why do you wear those same shirts here? I'm wearing the clothes I actually wear. Like, not on camera. This is how I actually dress. Like, if you guys bump into me out someplace, you're going to see me wearing stuff like this. So it's like, I'll just get on the camera. Let's just be true to who I am when the camera's rolling. We could do more of that. Yeah, I already have one unbuttoned, dude. It doesn't got one unbuttoned. See? So it's pretty normal for me. But again, you guys understand what I'm saying with that. But then people will go, well, I'm afraid if I don't want to do squats or deadlifts at all. No, you need some fatigue, right? You need some fatigue, guys. It's a good thing. It's beneficial. So it's about finding that middle ground. This is why I tell people, one, you need to understand stimulus fatigue. And I say, number two, you should mix exercises, right? Do some squats and then finish up with some machine work. See how easy that is? So you can have the best of both worlds. And people get so caught up in these dogmatic ideas, and it doesn't seem to occur to them that, hey, I could do 2-3 sets of heavy squats on my leg day, and then I can do a bunch of high rep leg presses and leg extensions afterwards. There's literally nothing stopping you from doing that. And I'm just using that as an example. There is literally nothing. If your gym has the equipment and you don't have a broken back or something, there is literally nothing stopping you from doing this. Okay? Nothing at all. All right, let's get over to some of these questions. These people, man, who knows? Gerger, why are my elbow tendons and Achilles sore at 21 years old? Wrist too. You need to strengthen them more. Maybe your diet needs work. Maybe your diet needs work. Maybe your sleep needs work. Maybe your diet is too inflammatory. You eating enough protein? Do you eat too many pro-inflammatory foods? What's going on? Noseka says, I squat like 235 for 5 right now. I'm trying to get to 315 for 5 as fast as possible without getting fat. Do you think a 3x5 2 times a week with a hack squat and hip? Maybe. That's one method. All right, that's one method. I got my test levels back at 315 nanograms per deciliter. That's something to think about too. Are you fat? Do you have a bad diet? What's going on there? Figure out what's going on in your life that's causing that. Steve says, Jason, when I do sets of 5 of 315, I feel, while doing novice sets of 3, I feel real fried after. Feels like shit doing 3x5 squats like novice. Also, I thumbed up for you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, you'll adapt to that. Honestly, that shouldn't be too much loading, but your recovery sounds like it needs some work. Could be some other things that you could do with your recovery to help with that, because that shouldn't bury you too badly, right? But I guess it's relative to how strong you are, isn't it? Oseka says, I find first time doing hack squats really highlighted some quad weakness. Yeah, possibly. Compared to do 185 is pathetic. Well, you're going to squat. That's probably going to be somewhat similar to your back squat, maybe a little more. Coach, put on the matching hat. I don't need the hat. I don't wear the hat all the time. Do most Texans dress like you? No. Exquisite. Why would you think in a place the size of Texas that people all dress the same? Do you? I mean, I could be wrong. Do you come from a place where everyone dresses the same? All right. Jason, does the overhead press work the upper chest? Would please put on the hat. All right, I'll put the hat on for you. Just for a minute. All right, got my hat. So I've got my hat on for this one. All right, I put it on. I'm going to take it back off. It's not always easy to do my thing with the hat. Okay. Hey, Pooh, we don't need to bring all that in here, dude. Come on now. Don't be bringing those conversations. I'm going to be polite, but, I'm just going to remove that, but I'm not going to ban you. All right. Well, AP, if you would like people in your circles to chill, then go tell those people who need to be in the live stream. Can I do 100-pound weighted pull-ups for 5? No, second, I missed the rest of your question. I can bench around 300 to assess teams to work somewhat, and I can do, okay. Well, having a low normal test doesn't mean you're not going to be able to get strong. I mean, keep that in mind, dude. You're still inside the normal range. It's just on the lower end of it, right? So it doesn't mean you can't make gains. Even if you have low test, there are guys with low testosterone who bench 300 plus. They've just been training a really long time. Do you recommend resting sore tendons? Nope. Not necessarily. You probably need to get some blood flow to them, actually. Marcelo says it fits you, honestly. Yeah, it does. Norman, that looks badass. Everyone liked my super hat if you want the hat. Fastest way to hit a 315 squat and 405 deadlift. Oh, come on, Norman. It was, you got cheated out of $2. I put the hat on, dude. Come on now. You do realize I charge $100 an hour for like consultations. All right. Gerger, do you follow the program? Eat lots of protein, rest, recover, follow the novice program. You'll reach those numbers most likely. And if not, right? If not, then I got some coaching slots open still, and they're at a reduced rate. No, Sika says I'm just a low temp. You're really not, dude. Your testosterone isn't low. It's in the normal range. Keep that in mind. It's just on the lower end of it. But that's not going to be that big of a difference. Like, guys really blow that out of proportion. They seem to have this weird idea that people who have like say a 7 or an 800 nanogram per deciliter of natural production versus say a 350, right? So they have over double the testosterone. They have some weird idea that they're going to have like 10 or 15 pounds more muscle. That's not supported by the research. Like, a difference like that means that on average, they're probably going to gain maybe a pound, maybe up to 2 pounds extra muscle over the course of like 10 or 15 years of lifting. Okay. All right. Kyle says, Coach, who else is vlogging for Team Blaha? I'm not going to be doing any Team Blaha vlogs for a bit. All right. Science, just start watching them. If you want to see the vlogs, there's a lot of them. So you can go through and just kind of see whatever you're, pick and choose whatever ones look like the sort of people who have goals you'd be interested in. There's such a wide variety of those vlogs. Is a 593 nanogram per deciliter testosterone good? Yeah, it's in the normal healthy range. You shouldn't even need, Marcelo, you shouldn't even need to ask me that. I mean, you can go look at the reference range anywhere and it will show that you were smack dab in the middle. That is a perfect testosterone number. Like, that would be considered a healthy, robust, normal amount for a 20-year-old man. Hey, Exquisite, I will not tell you ahead of time always if I'm going to be up traveling. You just won't realize I'm not doing stuff. It pushes the highest nanograms per deciliter someone can achieve. In theory, 1,000, but people don't really hit that. Simon says if someone is trained and 40 kilograms overweight, he can lose 2 kilograms of fat a week without losing much muscle. Do 2 kilograms of fat per week? 2 kilos of fat per week? That's almost impossible. Like, no. 40 kilogram overweight people don't lose that much fat. Okay? You can't even do it. No, we're talking people like, if you weigh 180 kilograms, 200 kilograms, and it's all fat, like you're not like Hathor or someone, right? Or Eddie Hall. All right, you weigh that sort of weight, that's who you're talking about. No, dude, someone who's only 40 kilos overweight, I wouldn't lose more than 1 kilogram a week. No second. Sweet makes me feel bad, brother. I want you to get on TRT. For some countries and doctors, they won't even give you TRT at 315. I mean, there are clinics who will, but generally a standard practitioner probably won't. No second said no. Girls can get jacked, and I have more tests than them. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Jason, on the topic of fatigue, I work 24-hour shifts on those days. My sleep is crap. For good gains, would you lean more towards full body or body part splits? I like to stay low and long. I would split it up. Full body is for novices. Are you a novice? Hey, Norman, because I'm choosing not to. I'm not going to go into all the reasons. I just don't feel like I need to be doing the vlogs these days anymore. All right, at least for now. Science says, Science, the amount of time you spend here asking me about it and saying you wanted to watch the vlogs and you haven't watched them, you could have started knocking vlogs out already, bro, and just started picking through them, right? Because off the top of my head, I don't know which one to tell you to watch. There's a lot of them. Just start picking through them if you want to see what my coaching and training styles look like. Is that a new shirt? Nope. I already explained it at the beginning. I said because people are like, oh, you only wear these certain shirts. I'm like, well, I don't even wear those shirts. Those are just shirts I throw on for the camera I've had forever because they're form fitting. So I'm like, oh, let me just throw on like my normal clothes, like what I would wear if I go somewhere. Okay. Like if you saw me chilling in a place or hanging out or going to some place, this is the sort of shirts I wear. Right? It's just one of them. I mean, I've got 7 or 8 different ones of just my various, button-up shirts. Bob says the shirt is looking snazzy. Yeah, I got a bunch of these. I've got some blue ones. I got black ones. I have ones with patterns on them. Kyle, that's like really a weird thing. What do you mean? You guys have seen me wear at least 80 to different shirts over the course of this channel. So that would be a really weird idea to have, wouldn't it? Biggest reason for novice plateau is weight gain or not an issue. Usually not training hard enough or beating yourself up, bad form. Right? Usually, my experience, most novices plateau because they either try to train with more volume than they can handle, or they just train really lazy. Right? And by lazy, they're like, oh, well, I'll just bounce reps and cheat and flop. And now I'm really training hard when you tell them they're training lazy. No, they really just don't take sets very far. And it's just stuff I've had to deal with clients who plateaued, and they've realized once I get them even on a camera and I make them take sets further, that they're thinking they were training to 1 rep in reserve, and they had 7. Right? They had 7. Seven reps in reserve. And when I make them actually take a set to failure jump, no, keep going, keep going. Yep, you still have more. And then they fail. And then they realize they've been training like a pussy all this time. No, I don't wear cologne at all, actually, Norman. Jason, a lot of guys come in here asking about training full body or some challenges in intermediate. Well, what's one of the biggest challenges intermediates face with full body is making less gains. That would be the biggest challenge. The fact that you're probably not going to make the best gains possible. So gaining less muscle is one of the big problems. Like full body really is for novices. And it's just something I've definitely come to realize over the many, many years. Will you look jacked after reaching a 3x5 squat, bench 225 by 5 deadlift 4 or 5 times? Possibly. Well, where's your arm work? I don't see any biceps or lats listed in there, so maybe not. But, you're talking about who you're going to look jacks to. To the average person, sure. Obviously not to the fitness one. No, Bob, why would I have a cheat meal on Halloween? Bob, I'm over here getting leaner all the time. I'm focused on my physique. I'm not doing cheat meals right now. I haven't had a cheat meal in probably 8 months. Kyle says, I love your transformation workout series. Thank you, bro. Gerger, no, treat every set that way. High quality reps to high levels of fatigue. Okay. Simon says, what about chest in the morning, triceps in the afternoon? Be back in the morning. Simon, so you really going to try to do 2-a-days? All right. Simon is, so what's your drug stack? You start talking to me about you need to be doing 2-a-days like a pro bodybuilder, like some of them do. How many grams of gear are you running? Because if you tell me you're running like noob stacks, I'm going to laugh and say, yeah, I'm going to recommend you don't do this. Matt says, Veins looking nasty today. Coach looking great. Thank you. Appreciate it. Veins on point. Hey, Kyle, are you telling me I don't have a good physique now? Because everyone in the comments every day under all my stuff tells me I have a really great physique now. Now, it's not pro bodybuilder quality or men's physique quality, but by normal standards, it is great. So are you trying to imply otherwise? And if you are, then, post physique and lifts, bro. I'm going to go to your channel. Let's see what you look like. Hey, Kyle. I'm looking at your channel, dude, and I'm looking for where you are. Post physique and best lifts, bro. Simon says the same amount of sets total, but you're really going to split your training up just for that? Like you're going to do 2-a-days for that? Romania, I saw it, but I mean, I don't always know what's up with it. I didn't ignore it, just doesn't mean I chose not to respond. You have the Dulce Instagram camera angles in your lab at the airport, made you look like Godzilla. I didn't do anything. I just sat there with my camera at one of those desks where I had it plugged in on the charger. That was nothing special. At age 30, is there still enough time to get ripped? Yeah, why wouldn't there be? Okay. So Kyle, do you have a great physique? Someone says, how old are you? I'm 47. I turn 48 next month. Jason, how many sets do you do for arms a week, not counting the compound lifts? I watched the vlogs, just forgot how many sets. As of like this last week, as of this week, I believe, last week I can't really count because I kind of did it completely different because I did some extra workouts while traveling and stuff. This week, not counting big compounds, so taking all the pulling and pressing out. I believe I did 9 sets for triceps and 12 sets for biceps. Again, not counting all the bench pressing and chest pressing and overhead pressing and pull-ups and rows, and not counting any of that. Well, Romanov, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Isn't age 30 like peak testosterone? So what? No, it's not. Peak testosterone's in your teens. Your testosterone goes down even by the time you're 20. Like you guys know this, right? Your testosterone peaks when you're a teenager, and then it starts tapering. In theory, at least, hypothetically. So about every 5 years, it should measure a little bit lower. Yeah, your first person to wish me happy birthday this year because it's next month. Solid work. That sounds good. Yep. Besides large weight gain, you think starting strength is a good source of it? It's a good way to learn the basic lifts. They've got some decent form coaching and stuff. Like I think it's a must read. I think everyone who lifts should at least have a copy of the book and read it. Do you enjoy bodybuilding or powerlifting more? The training end, honestly, I kind of like the bodybuilding training, although I love deadlifts. I will always love heavy deadlifts. It's always going to be my favorite lift. Competing, though, I enjoy competing in powerlifting. And anyone who's met me at meets realizes at meets I'm super chill. Like I'm just there, usually taking it in, having fun. You don't even see me. I don't even really get psyched up anymore. I'm just there chatting with people, having a good time, and then go over and do my lifts. What programming changes does one who still can't bench 225 need to make? I need to see what's going on with your stuff. Romanov says, I love you, coach. I just want you to know that. You may not realize it, but you actually changed my life. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Any big plans for your birthday? No. Just got back from Cabo. That's why I've been missing the last few lives. I've been good, dude. I've been good. Do you have an Amazon link for your wish list for gifts? Ooh, other people have done that, haven't they? Should I do that? I don't even know if people would actually do anything with that. Guys, I mean, I could make one, but I just feel like I don't think anyone would do it. Should I throw like a $3,000 Gibson Les Paul in there just in case? All right. You think we'll ever collaborate with YouTubers help? Maybe I might collaborate with some people. Yeah. Have you done many powerlifting competitions? Yeah. Done a decent number. Jason, between Van Damme, Dolph, and Stallone, who had the best physique? I'm going to go with Stallone. Science Data says, I did see your competition Texas footage. Very cool. I appreciate it, man. Yep. Where I grabbed those state records of that last meet. I hit state records at every single meet I did back in Texas here, like all three of them. Every meet I broke multiple state records, including my own on some of them, like broke my own records. Like in the same back to back. No, I've never been to Cabo. How often do you like to compete? I don't know that I have a set schedule. Thoughts on Mike Watson supporting Mike's assault on Jeff Nippard? Well, number one, I don't know who Wes Watson is. Number two, I think anyone supporting Mike's assault on Jeff is a douchebag. Would you get a scalp tattoo? No. I don't want a scalp tattoo, dude. No. I don't know that I want any tats at all. I mean, a lot of people want me to get tats. I don't know that I want any. I'd have to really put thought into it. I love it when you pose with a juicy palm. Lifting. I appreciate that, man. You know, and by the way, I don't mind that. Man, I've had people who jump up and they pull this stuff and they're like, you're gray, you're in the closet. I'm like, guys, this is 2024. If I was in the closet and I came out, I would get so much support. I swear I should almost fake it just for the support and money. Like if I was actually as dishonest as people think I am, I would actually just come out and claim to be gay. I'd get so much support. I'd probably make a fortune doing it. Like it sounds like actually like a good idea. But the fact is, guys, I'm strictly taco, no burrito. But I don't hate, man. I don't hate. People have tons of gay fans, and that's fine. That's cool. You know, it's all good. Um, would you consider transitioning to acting as an older age like Stallone and Seagal? No. Dude, I'm already an entertainer, man. I'm on the camera every day. Hal says, Coach, just wanted to thank you for all the joy and laughter you provided to us over the years. You're by far one of the funniest characters on the YouTubes. I love you, Coach. Hal, I love you too. All right. Oh, wait, I got some messages down here. These important messages. Hold on. Okay. No. All right. Thought that was one of my clients. I thought it was something important. It wasn't. Jason, I wish there was a program. Oh, wait, we got over here. Wes Watson, as I call him, is your typical alpha male. Oh, okay. So he's one of those manosphere guys, right? Gotcha. I know the type. Which, Dr. Jason, I wish there was a program out there to run similar to the one like you're running now. I love how you do splits while incorporating the big compounds. It's incredible for longevity. I mean, Michael Hearn does a similar idea, like a very, very similar concept. And, here's the thing. All right, think about that for a moment. Think about the training style I'm doing and notice the fact that Michael Hearn, I mean, whether you love or hate the guy, okay, whether you want to get pissed that he's a fake natty or not, the guy's in his 50s and he looks like that. And he's not hurt and he's strong. Okay? Notice that. I've switched over, transitioned into this type of training. Very similar idea. And then everyone's like, man, you're like the most lean and jacked. You're the best you've ever looked. And you just keep getting better all the time. Using the same sort of training philosophy. So maybe I'm just going to throw out there that could be a good idea. What are your top 3 tricep exercises? I'm going to go with, I don't know that I have top 3. Any sort of incline, because for people like me who don't have the best shoulder mobility, the incline's better than behind the head. Any sort of incline, maybe like rope press downs, maybe a decline extension. Science B, I've always been fine with them, dude. I've never been homophobic, dude. I don't know where people thought I was. That seems kind of weird, considering I've got gay family members and stuff. Whatever, dude. No, it's not okay for you to call me. I'm not going to answer your call. Sorry. Joe says it's not a big deal to admit you're into burrito. Exactly. It's not. I'm not, though. But that's kind of the point I make with that, when people bring those conversations up of it's not a big deal. Like literally no one cares anymore. Like there's no reason for a person. There's no reason for a person to even be in the closet in 2024. They actually get super support when they come out. So it's ridiculous. So it's like there's no reason why a person can't just say if they are. Like it's ridiculous. Yet there's people who act like it's such a big deal. But no, dude, just can't do it, man. I'm not into the burrito. Not my thing. Gerger, I've given you a bunch of advice already. I don't know what else to tell you, man. You need to just hire me, Gerger, instead, because you have a lot of the same questions. Dude, I do consultations, man. I do consultations. Probably the best way for you to go. That way you get some one-on-one stuff. We can see what's going on with your lifting, some footage or whatever, and your programming, and I can figure out what's going on. Could be your mindset. But answering your questions, the same ones you have over and over in these lives, is not helping you, brother. Do you think you're leaner now than you were in your 20s? Yeah, I think so. Why don't you make paid programs? Because I used to do it. I used to do that. It's just that it's the amount of work, and then I feel like it's just handing people a cookie cutter. I used to charge like whatever 120 or 125, and hand them a 12-week template and write it out. But it felt like it turned into more work because then I give them the template and they're like, well, I need to come back and have questions. And I'm like, if you need questions or you need clarifications or adjustments, you need to come on for coaching. Like I handed you a one-time template, but then I also go, it's just a template, and is it really that useful? So it was just a business model when I did it. I felt like it doesn't provide that great of a service. You're just giving someone a template based loosely based upon their goals. It's not real coaching, and then it just kind of leaves them hanging. And it felt like when I did that, then they wanted more than that. And I'm like, dude, you're not even paying for a full month of coaching, So that was kind of my viewpoint. Because at the time, I was charging half of what I charged for coaching to give them a 12-week block it now. What I charge for 1 month of coaching. So it's kind of a point where, like, if they need more stuff than that, they just need to come on for coaching. How do you know you have good genetics for building muscle? You should assume you do by default. It will help you gain muscle. The studies show that if you believe you have good genetics for gaining muscle and strength, you'll gain it faster. That is what the research shows. Even if you're lied to and you don't actually have it, just believing it actually will help. And if you believe you have bad genetics for it, you actually gain less muscle and strength in the lab, even if it's not true. This has been documented, by the way, in studies. So you should assume that you have great genetics for building muscle. You'll actually gain more muscle. Why do people even care what someone else lays their meat? I don't know, man. I don't know. Will you be able to at least break some new state records in the future when you compete again? Possibly. What do you think of Cali Muscle's weird new eyes? I haven't seen them yet. Are you taking clients? How many clients do you have now? I'm not going to go into my thing. How I'm on of the lower end of what I normally would have. So yeah, if you're saying, hey, you want to sign on when you have slightly fewer, that would be a good time. I've had a lot more than I have currently at certain points. Are water cuts hard to do? No, they're very easy. They're hard on you. So hard in what way? You asking, are they hard to physically do? No, they're extremely easy. Ridiculously easy. Okay. Are they hard to make it through? Oh yeah, they're super hard on your body. Super hard on your body. A couple of mine, I was peeing like bright orange. I could barely talk. Like I remember trying to talk to Bobby Morgan because he was doing the weigh-ins. He's like, damn, Jason, you're freaking ripped. And I'm like, I can't talk about it. Ridiculous. I dropped 23 pounds in one day. I was down 23 pounds in 24 hours for the water cut. You ever listen to Michael Schlecker's? He played with UFO. No, I haven't. So what's the deal with the anti-aesthetic stances? That's an outdated concept. I don't even support that idea. Science B. I've updated all that a long time ago. Just nonsense. Yeah, exactly how. I'm literally running 250 a month for coaching. I mean, I don't want to. If you wanted to come on, that would be the time, dude. Based on your criteria. What's your thoughts on training with Atlas balls for increased strength, like in the strongman competition? Are those really necessarily an increased strength tool? I mean, they're pretty awkward. That can literally interfere with maximum strength development. Bon Jovi's Bad Medicine during the Lakes today. That's actually a good song. I have to admit, had me moving and grooving. How many lifting competitions, like sanctioned meets? I've judged more meets than I've competed in, to be fair. How many sanctioned meets have I done on YouTube? Gosh, I think 6. Jason, was it shocking in the day being in the same room with Ogus and Jeff Side and realized their stats were exaggerated? Dude, I like Ogus is cool as hell, actually. Dude, Ogus is funny in person. Yeah, they're way smaller than me though. Way smaller. Yeah, science B. That's a very immature position to take. It was an immature position I took as kind of just my rejection of the whole bodybuilding scene at the time, like taking it to hyperbole. Does that make sense? Taking it for kind of just a public statement as a position on strength of taking it to hyperbole. Can most people recover from 3-week waves? What do you mean? Exactly. I can find guys my size at most gyms. It's just that a lot of influencers are way smaller than you think they are. They really are. And it's, again, having been in a room with a lot of them. Like back in the day, like having gone to that expo and then hung out with dudes. I'm trying to think of influencers who were actually bigger than me. Would be Simeon Panda was. I carry more muscle now than back then. I'm leaner with more muscle. Trying to think of anyone else I've met who was actually, I mean, setting aside pro bodybuilders, right? Like obviously Kai Green and people like that were more jacked than me. Like just more muscle. Short as hell. Dude's about 5'5". Let's see. Where are we at? How many gyms? Let's go back over. Okay, I've just had different reasons I chose not to compete. I compete when I compete in waves. So, like the last time I did this, I did 3 meets in less than a year. You're wearing the Joe Rogan UFC shirt. Really? I don't know. I just wanted, to me, this is a normal shirt, dude. This is a regular shirt. Let's see. That's nice. Matt Ogus weighed like 170, almost shredded. You think guys probably have about the same amount of muscle? No, dude, I gave Ogus a piggyback ride in front of a crowd of people. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's smaller than me. All right. Oh, that was called a troll, Hal. All right. Bob says, dang, I was going to say I hadn't seen any psycho losers here tonight until that one guy spammed. I was hoping they'd give up. Dude, I'm their reason for waking up in the morning, Bob. I am their God. I am their object of fixation. It's really weird. It's really, really weird. It's really sad, actually. Well, it's because they wait around to come in, dude. Bob, they'll probably off themselves one day. I mean, there are people who are that deranged are probably going to harm themselves eventually. Matt says, "Why do all the quack nutrition guys shit on peanut butter like Gary Brecka?" Because they're quack nutrition guys. Like Brecka is a complete con man. Linoleic acid, peanuts not being real. Like, oh, they're legumes guys. And linoleic acid is great for you. Like there's plenty of research on it. Will you include JM Presses this program? No, I have no reason. All right. No, because I'm focusing on a lot more long head stuff. And the JM press is going to be more lateral head, and I do lots of pressing. I do a fair amount of pressing volume. Do you think Vitruvian physique is natural? Don't know, don't care. Right? Do we really care? All right, guys, I might wind this down here in a minute. How are you able to keep up with all these weirdos' theories? Yeah. Talking about like Gary Brecka and stuff. Because it's all out there and you see it circulating. I mean, my circles of people all talk about it. So I see it. Social media, different groups of people I talk to. So, you see all of it. What do you think of bodybuilding? That is a very, very, very vague statement. You need to even define what you even mean by bodybuilding, let alone what you mean by think of it. Romanov, I put out videos on the holidays all the time on how to deal with it. How to walk into events fasted, how to do things so that you don't gain any fat. Also, should we not, you shouldn't drink alcohol at all. I mean, if you're asking me about alcohol, my advice would be to never drink an entire drop of it your whole life. I mean, if you're going to ask my honest opinion. Hey, Science B, I think you're putting the cart before the horse. How do you get your triceps stronger? You get them bigger. Yeah, no, Bob, I'm good, dude. Everything's great. I'm a little tired. I just did legs. First, I did legs. Then I went, here's a picture. Then I went here. Can you guys see that? Is it legible? Let it zoom in for a second. It's a picture I took today. Let me zoom back so you guys can see it. It says Federal Bureau of Investigation, Houston office. So, yes, it's Houston Division. Hold on, let me get that zoomed in. All right. So, yeah, I was hanging out there earlier too. Oh, so, well, I had an appointment. All right. Well, of course, it's always about them. Why would it be about anything else? Well, anyone who finds out what that sign is, because it's my webcam being a little blurry. Okay, what nonsense from these psychos. Hey, Jason, you ever heard the new music from Oh, bend over. You're so ridiculous. Well, first step would be to isolate your triceps and determine their absolute strength. Hey, Science B, do you not watch my training vlogs? Do you not watch all the tricep isolation I do right now to failure? Hey, Romanov, you already know that I had a drinking issue. I've been very open about that. I choose to be sober. Trolls will show up at the FBI building. Yeah, that would go really well. All right. Yeah, Bob, you're right. That would sure solve my problems real quick. How? I'm gonna be real nice here. You can't possibly be that dumb. It's not humanly possible. Okay. There's no way that that's a serious question. Bob, it's only a couple people. So maybe they will. How? You can't possibly be that dumb. Please tell me you aren't. There's no way. Okay. We're at 50 minutes in. Yep. What do we got? Hey, Jason, for the client consultation after submitting an application for coaching, what's the purpose of the call? It's multifold because there's only so much you can tell me in a paragraph. When I get in a call with you for an hour, I can assess your personality. We can discuss your goals. We can develop a rapport. Because if you're going to coach someone, you need to have a rapport with them. You need to understand their mindset, and you need to have open communication. So an actual face-to-face talk to where you could see each other, discuss stuff, you can assess stuff and communicate a lot more information than you can with messengers or an email, right? All right. So that's why we do that. And then we go over your goals in detail, in vast detail, understand everything that you're seeking. And I can ask a lot of questions, because people will say certain things. Well, this is my goal. And then for me as a coach, I want to get in and say, are you sure that's your goal? Why is it your goal? Clarify their goal, because, you will get guys who say stuff like, because it's stuff I learned early on as a coach. Like they're like, oh, you do strength coaching. And they're like, well, I want to get really strong. That's all I just want to get really strong. And it turns out that wasn't even their goal. They assumed, this is a perfect example of why getting that closer communication and understanding what they're really seeking is important. Because they'll say that and they're like, well, I assumed that if I got really strong, X, Y, and Z would happen. And in reality, they should have told me I want to get really lean, not really strong, and it would have just solved all their problems. I'm just saying, because their goal wasn't a 600-pound deadlift. Their goal was, they're like, well, I assumed if I got really strong that I'd look really jacked and like I lift. And so if you tell me you want to get really strong, we're going to work on strength lifts and we're going to work on accessories for those exercises, and we might even get fat. Because if you really want a truly epic level squat, getting fat's a good idea. Just saying. So if you tell me I just want to get really strong, well, that would be a real dumb thing for me to assume is true as a coach. So getting into more details as far as what they're really seeking in an order of priority. Because I will literally ask them, like, well, I have this goal, and this goal. And I'm like, okay, rank them in order of priority. And then ask someone, why do you want that goal? You don't get all of that out of an application in an email. You also need to be able to assess the way they communicate, their ability to perceive information, how introverted or extroverted they are, because that affects their programming when you're coaching someone. So that's the purpose of the call. All right. Hey, Kyle, I literally have a client in the FBI. So, yeah, there is that. Who gives me advice on this? So, that aside, and you don't have to believe that. So, but you asked me, do I ever think? Well, no. Now, you can think whatever you want. That's your business. And yeah, they do care about online cyber stalking. It is a growing trend, and there are laws changing around it. It is something people take serious. But that being said, time to wind this stream down. So, oh, Brian, I caught that. So that being said, Kyle, you have outed yourself as a troll. All right, guys. So it's time to wind this down. I hope it's been informative. Love all of you guys and gals. Let me give you guys a forum shot before we go. And I'll talk to you next time.